are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. It's first show this year in Finland. We did a tour, but first Finnish show.
Yeah. So was the tour? You were all around Europe, right?
Well, not really all around actually. We were most in the western parts of Europe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. Like obviously playing with Carcass and Brujeria,
Yeah.
like bigger shows that we usually do, obviously with that lineup. And it was actually really fun to play first. Everything was over so quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So then you had time to kind of relax. Or are you able to relax after a gig?
Well,
Because you go to sell your
I'm
merchandise.
at the merch, and that's relaxing for me. So I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
I like being there.
Yeah.
Like backstage is really boring,
Yeah. So you are a social person.
I suppose. And I see the other guys anyway all the time, so it's kind of nice to meet the people
Yeah.
who come to
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
Although today is kind of, it's a bummer that I can't see the shows because we are on the side now, but it
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's like
Yeah.
this.
I'll have a peek of
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. But about this last tour that you did you play in any place that was the first time for you?
Yeah, there were some cities we never been in. Let me think. We Audincourt in France. That was a new one. And then there was another one. Also some Spanish shows. I can't. Pamplona, for instance, was a place we haven't played before.
Okay.
Like most of the cities were place we have played before. Oh yeah, Drachten as well. And the very last show, which was near Lille, and that small place in France. Yeah, so there was like these big halls in the middle of nowhere most
Yeah.
of times. That's how it works in the industry, that you move the music away from the cities.
Yeah. So how is what are the main difference when you play abroad compared to Finland? How the audience is different?
It's There's no like common denominator. You never know. Every show is unique anyway.
Okay.
I mean, like that tour was much better than we expected. Since we played first, most of the times there was just one festival where we played second, and otherwise first. And people showed up early, and they were usually getting active. But there was maybe two shows where it was really quiet response, and we just had to work harder. And then nothing happens. But those nights were funny because even Carcass felt like, "What the fuck is going on there? Why is like they obviously got response already, but when you get used to really good response, you get kind of spoiled.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like generally, I think that it's quite similar wherever you go on this planet. Like basically, people come to shows, they're friendly, it's good times, and response is depend. Even if it's like two people, they usually enjoy it. Normally, it's more obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like more to play club show or festivals?
Both are good in different ways. I mean, it depends on festival too, and I can't say that we hated playing 11:45 before noon in Brutal Assault, but it was really early, and like just being woke up and go to stage. So that happens at bigger festivals sometimes, whereas in
Yeah.
club you usually play at convenient time. And then if sun is shining, it doesn't look the same and doesn't feel the same. But if you get later slot at festival or some tent stage with good lighting and fog, then it feels like a club actually.
Okay.
But of course, festivals are cool in that sense, obviously, that you may reach people who have never heard of you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
That's more likely in there,
Yeah.
especially when we tour on our own, or like with us. I don't want to use the word headlining. With us forced to play last, headlining is a bad term in grind, in my opinion. Nobody wants to play last. Then people probably know us when they come to see us.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you think about the gigs, all the gigs that you did, there is any gigs that you would not do if you knew before how it would go?
What we would not do.
Yeah, that went really bad for some reason, that it may be organization or whatever.
I don't really remember such things.
Well, that's good.
Like
Then,
well,
then maybe it was
there
not.
was one strange incident in eastern Helsinki, and I think the organizer was somehow either connected or in some sort of not legal activities, and you could notice that when we get there, everything felt fine. But then when we were done, he said that you really have to play some more, and was almost threatening us to play some more.
Okay.
We didn't go, and we're still alive, but it was feeling really strange that because we had played 45 minutes already and had one encore already, and it wasn't like very busy, so it was just sort of birthday party thing. So maybe that one. Then we told our booking agent to probably not send other bands there
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
So if I have to choose one, but that's one random incident. One could always complain about the organization. You can always find something that could be done better. But I mean, when we're DIY people do their best, they have limited resources, limited time, and usually everything is fine and people
Yeah,
are doing
yeah.
nice. So I really can't complain.
Yeah,
It's just a privilege to go and play.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
most important thing.
yeah,
Like today, friends are organizing festivals.
yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
And today here in Pori there are a lot of great bands, and I hope that a lot of people are coming and enjoying.
Yeah,
The
I hope
show.
there's a good crowd, and it's nice that it's for all ages because
Yes.
well they know how to do mosh pitting usually. Maybe I jinxed us now, but but like there's another one in 2 weeks in Helsinki Death Fest all ager rager, and I played there with Goat Burner once, and that was just crazy crowd. From the beginning to the end, every band just on constant movement. There's a lot of energy. I kind of remember going to see Stone when I was 17 and doing the same thing
Yeah, yeah,
in the mosh pit.
yeah. Because more younger someone is, more risk taker is. So
Yeah,
it's like, I don't care if I fall. While we are getting old, we are like, yeah, I cannot do this because my knee is hurting or something else.
well, last time I was doing stage diving was a little over 10 years ago, seeing Bolt Thrower in Texas, Chaos in Texas, and I mean, and I was in the pit, and I've been in the pit still in Tuska when Trap Them played, but then since that, not that much.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's yeah, maybe it's not about risk, but it's a lot of energy that you
Yeah.
need to have.
yeah. Because you need to wake up the next day. Sometimes, or
No,
maybe always you need to wake up, otherwise you are dead.
Yeah, well, at this age, every morning is a gift.
Yeah, yeah. At some point you are like, yeah, you know that the life is not forever, but let's enjoy the
Yeah,
days.
exactly. And that's why they go in the mosh pit.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that today, but maybe someday again.
yeah. You never know. Your last album, Apocalypse, was released in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a gap in between the previous album and Apocalypse. What happened in that gap?
They were being lazy, and it just kind of took a while to refine the music. And I think COVID sort of paralyzed, at least me. I was really having a hard time to write anything lyric-wise. So the music was done before, maybe even 2 years before we kind of went to studio, because we wanted to do full pre-production cycle with all the lyrics and all the vocals done once, so that we kind of audited and checked out how the album worked. And that's really strange thing that COVID caused me to not to do almost anything when I had a lot of time, and it just felt so weird when you couldn't go and play shows regularly. That it just didn't didn't
So
happen.
the motivation wasn't there.
Not even motivation. It just was kind of blockage. I guess those happen anyway.
Yeah,
And since I'm the only one who's writing lyrics for us, so we had to wait. But it also didn't feel like we had to be in a rush because is it ninth album? Let me count. Yeah, it's ninth full length. So I mean, who cares? Everyone listens to Exit the Murderworks. Just kidding. We are really happy with the result, but it's and we also did release a mini Suffer to Abuse in 2018. So 5 years. It's a little bit longer than we are used to, but it's
Yeah.
it happens. And since we never could treat Rotten Sound as our job or anything like that, so we don't feel that we have to do results and do some, let's say, a 5-year planning or something like that.
Yeah, you go with the flow.
We go with the flow and go to the studio when we have enough music. And now
Yeah.
we had some extra, and actually there's gonna be a new release.
Okay.
Maybe this or early next year, which is basically from the same session, but same pattern we have used for a while. So we do an album, and then the songs which are not kind of fitting the album sequence become a mini that
Yeah.
comes after. So Species of War was the first one, then Suffer to Abuse, and now there's going to be Mass Extinction, which is the next one. And
Are the lyrics connect, so the theme connect with the
yeah, they are
lives?
mainly, I guess, Species of War. Species of War is a different than Cursed, kind of connected, but it's a concept about life cycle of war. Just basically one lyric through all the 6 songs. But then Suffer to Abuse is the extra chapters, Annex 4, Abuse to Suffer, and then same thing with Mass Extinction and Apocalypse. So yeah, everything was written in the same time and even recorded this time. That's the first time we did that we also recorded them
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how lazy we are. We go to
Okay.
studio once in 5 years and release 2 releases.
Well,
But there's some
that's
news.
good.
Yeah.
So some new music is coming.
Yeah.
So we have to wait a moment, but this year or next year, something new from Rotten Sound
Yeah,
is
that
coming.
really depends on the label. So
Yeah.
when Season of Mist. And
Yeah.
we just got the first draft of the cover artwork now, so that's what we have been waiting.
So who is working on the cover art?
Same as Apocalypse designer, Error Design from Barcelona.
Okay, yeah, yeah. How
Xavi.
did you find him? I mean, how did you connect with him?
Mika had found his work from some posters and other bands' records and thought that he's a good designer. Originally, we reached out Mus designer who had done us a couple of album covers already before and t-shirt designs, but he was too busy at the time, so we reached out Xavi for like Mika found their contact and I started writing with them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And Time to Kill Records released a reissue from your 3rd album,
Yeah.
Murder Works, from 2002. So this happened last January that they did the
Yeah, last
reissue.
month.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's not last month, it's already March today.
Yeah, it's March, damn it.
1st of March, yeah.
And this interview is coming maybe next week out.
Okay.
But yeah, so almost 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Was this agree with the record label or who ideas was?
Yeah, we had got the rights to Murderworks from Relapse some years ago, and we kind of took it easy with that because it didn't feel like we had to rush into it, and then I'm connected to Time to Kill, kind of part-time working at times with the label, and we also release music with Goatburner with Time to Kill, so I knew that it's a good label for extreme music, and we wanted to try it out instead of there's like for few reasons it felt good, and the quality they do is very good in my opinion. Like they use good materials for the covers and got a gatefold for it, and all three formats as well, physical formats, and they also did 2 lyric videos, or not the lyric video Doom, but then the other lyric video as well from Agony. So it kind of felt like an easy way to work, and Enrico gave us a good offer as well.
Yeah.
So we didn't really negotiate with other labels. There was some request, but it felt good to do it with Time to Kill.
Yeah, yeah. And the album is one of the milestone of greencore.
Mm.
So I think that the fans are enjoying it
Yeah, yeah.
to have this reissue.
Yes, it was kind of sad that we were so lazy that there was a lot of questions about why isn't it in Spotify anymore. You could find it in YouTube and at one point only, but now it's everywhere. So that's also a good thing. And I guess we have to do the same with Cursed.
Yeah, yeah.
Soon. But that's the thing. We we had a license deal with Relapse and decided to stop that because they were not into doing new physical releases, and we wanted to do reissue. And maybe, I don't know, it felt right to just leave there because we have been working with Season of Mist so closely now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Talking about writing music, when you write lyrics, what does inspire you?
No, there's endless source of inspiration around us. Just what's the news?
Yeah,
It's world has gone bonkers. It's crazy.
yeah.
Like
That's
yesterday was one of the weirdest days in ages, and scary also.
true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So at least with music, you can scream out about
Well,
those
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Get inspiration from those not nice thing in the world.
That's something I decided to do with Rotten Sound exclusively, sort of, to really use it as a channel to put out some frustration from what's happening in the world.
Yeah, yeah,
And honestly, it might help. It actually helps at times, especially when we play live. And there are always moments when I sing the song, when I start thinking like, what did I write here? Oh, okay, well, it's happening, unfortunately, and so on. So it's kind of both ways. Sometimes it makes me also a little bit more angry, which is not a bad thing on stage,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's cleansing also generally.
yeah. And talking about other music, what are you listening when you are not on the stage? Or do you listen music?
Yeah, I listen to music all the time. Like I have my liked songs playlist in Spotify now, and that's like 10,000 songs or more, which is all the albums I've been liking since 70s. Starts from Sex Pistols, and then there's always some new stuff as well. Just added new Scour album there, and there's like whenever there's something new that I like, I put it in there, and then I also clean it up if there's boring songs or some outros or something. I take them off, and that's my personal radio.
Yeah, yeah,
But that's genre-wise, like starting from punk, hardcore, crust. But then there's also a lot of electronic music. I'm very picky with hip hop, but there's Dalek for an instance, and I think horror isn't really hip hop, but somehow connected. The Prodigy is one of my all-time favorites, but then a lot of death metal, and thrash metal, the classics and new ones as well. Some weird stuff like Melt Banana, and then Melvins is great. But there's endless amount of bands, so it's hard to
yeah.
hard to
Yeah,
throw the
yeah,
names.
yeah. So you listen to Spotify, but what do you think? Because there is a lot of talking about Spotify and music and musicians. What is your point of view on Spotify?
I don't like the royalty system. It's kind of depressing when you think of that. However, it's better than before when torrents were not paying anything.
Yeah.
And then I tried different platforms as well, but the applications are not so usable, especially because my library is always downloaded in my phone. So when I have 10,000 songs, it's maybe 30, 40 gigabytes. And that database is getting too heavy it got too heavy with Deezer and with Tidal, and I tried also. No, I don't think I tried Google Music. Maybe I did, but Spotify is the only platform that can handle it. But I seriously did try to use another one, and I like the sound quality of Tidal more and Deezer as well. And that's like one of the most worst things in Spotify is that they change the audio quality, or not the quality, but they work kind of like radio station and make loud music less loud and do something from producer point of view, because I do record some music as well. It's a moving target as well. So if I release something is released today, in 5 years it might sound a little bit different because they change the algorithms and or what they use.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing. I wish it was just like CD, which is transparent exactly as in the studio.
Yeah.
Well, not exactly as in studio, but very close to studio quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the biggest complaint actually.
Yeah.
But at the same time, well, I don't know if Mr. Ek is a thief. Maybe not. He's a businessman. He's in this beautiful system, which is not making anyone else than the rich people rich. So necessary evil in the system. But what I do like in Spotify and other, I mean Bandcamp is great as well for some bands which are not in Spotify, is that the music is always reachable,
Yeah.
which is something new anyway. So it's so easy to find and listen to it legally as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm happily paying the monthly fee.
Yeah. I mean, I use Spotify. Of course, I'm moving with the bus, so I want to have music in my
Yeah.
ear, and of course, I'm not going to get back in the 90s and early 2000 with my CD
Yeah.
reader that it doesn't fit anywhere, and it was a terrible time to take around. But yeah, but still, I like to buy the albums and then merchandising. I think that what people when they go to gigs, because also from gigs sometimes, in particular underground band, don't get that much money from gigs. So I think that the merchandising is the key to support the band.
Yeah, I guess. And I do buy merch. I don't buy records anymore
Yeah.
because I stopped collecting a while ago and sold my collection actually.
Okay.
Because I'm so mobile. I'm really spending 50 to 100 days a year at home. So it would
It
be
doesn't
just
make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have it.
Yeah.
And every move was getting heavier. So
Yeah.
hard decision, but I haven't really regretted that too much.
Yeah. 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 But what's on plan for the future? Okay, new music is coming, but any other tour?
There's some tour plans, which are not published yet.
Yeah.
We always do get some random festivals and tours and offers, and I do hope that we get more of those package tours that we did with Carcass and Brujeria, but it would be also fun to do our own European tour next. When the next mini comes out, then I'm sure that we will tour again all around Europe.
Yeah, yeah, nice. So we are done with this interview. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Would you like to say something to your fans and people that are watching this interview?
Hello, it's Keijo from Rotten Sound. You're watching The Offering, and see you at the shows.